Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Relatively Gaming Podcast. My name is Turn-Based TJ, aka TJ, and I'm joined by my splendiferous host, Enigma 9011, aka Brett. How you doing today, Brett?
I'm actually feeling great. I'm happy for the weekend. I mean, as you guys are hearing this Monday, we're going through the hellstorm of the century with snow and ice, but I hope everybody's doing well, staying safe. But I'm excited to chill this weekend. So, yeah, how are you doing?
Doing awesome. Excited to chill this weekend as well. Very good choice of words there, Batman.
Totally on purpose.
Yeah, yeah, I'm probably gonna have Monday off of work while you're listening to this, and maybe even Tuesday. So we'll
Ooh.
have to see. We'll have to see how much ice accumulates in North Kakalaki. But yeah, if you're joining us for the first time on the Relatively Gaming Podcast, we talk a little bit about gaming news, what we've been playing. We've got a little bit of fun segments planned, and then we talk about some games we're excited for the future. So with that out of the way, Brett, what do you got in the gaming news front?
Well, everybody's favorite game, just because I've been talking up so much, Ball Pit is getting its first free update coming out next week, or rather, as of this podcast recording, today, the 26th. We're going to have for free 2 new characters, 8 new balls, new passive abilities, and apparently a secret that they're going to be adding to the game. So, ball pitters, pit ballers, Xers, I don't know. Go make sure you get the free update. Get the X up! Get the update and have some fun diving back into that. I know I'm excited for it. I'll probably be streaming it tomorrow as of release, the 27th. So you can go check out twitch.tv/Enigma911. We'll be petting over there. Selfish plug, but excited for that. And that's the first of 3 free updates at some point this year, folks.
Oh, no release date, just sometime this year.
Yeah, they gave like quarters. I don't know if they gave specific dates, and I don't remember off the top of my head when they were. But yeah, 2 other updates coming. On relatively gaming news, former Nintendo boss Doug Bowser is now going to Hasbro and joining their board of directors. Okie dokie.
Yeah.
I don't have many details on that, but just thought that was odd. All right, one job to the other, I guess.
More Dungeons and Dragons games on Nintendo confirmed.
There you go. On the bigger side of news, this is coming from IGN and Tom Phillips. Ubisoft has announced a sweeping company restructure that will result in the cancellation of 6 games, including its Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake, and a delay to further 7 titles. 2 Ubisoft studios will be closed completely as a result of the changes, while others are subject to further layoffs. Hoo-wee! Yeah, so Ubisoft hitting a firm/hard reset button, I guess, on their stuff. Okay. I think they were looking to sell not too long ago, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if this is a result of said sale or trying to help that process out to try and find a buyer. But all in all, yikes. I mean, Ubisoft titles I know are, mixed reactions. Some do very well, some don't. So, I don't know, a bit of a bummer. I know a lot of people were looking forward to the Prince of Persia remake. In some of those new titles of the 6, I believe some were new IP. So I'm a little bummed on their behalf of just like we don't get to see what those projects were. And then, yeah, just 13 projects in total getting affected in some way. Just oof, that's rough.
Yeah, did you ever play Prince of Persia: Sands of Time?
No, the only Prince of Persia I've played is the more recent one. It was 2D roguelike. I talked about on the I think I talked about on the podcast a while back.
Yeah, you did. I think it was just called Prince of Rogue or Prince of Persia Rogue or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe the Rogue of Prince of... it doesn't matter. But that's the only one I've played. But I know when Prince of Persia first started, a lot of people really, really dug that first game. So, yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah, I have very fond memories of Sands of Time playing that on the GameCube. So a little bummed out that the remake is no longer gonna happen. The article that I read over on Game Rant was saying that doing this restructuring because they're trying to focus on more open world games or like
Oh,
larger open world games.
okay.
So I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, to be honest, because sometimes I get open world fatigue where I'm like, I don't want to ride my horse to every objective marker just to do a mission. But
Yeah.
you know, because Prince of Persia: Sands of Time is definitely not an open world game. It's very segmented and you go through little sections and stuff. So uh, we'll have to see if that pans out in their favor or not. It seems like some of these big open world games, though, when they hit and they're so successful, they're successful enough to sustain a studio for a while. So I kind of see where they're coming from. If you're not going to do the live model aspect, you might as well do a big 80-hour open world game,
Sure.
it seems.
Yeah, I just hope it's not them pivoting too much and like kind of chasing the oh, what's the saying? Mm, I don't know, but like, oh, live service is really popular. We should make a live service game. Oh, this really popular. We should go make this. Like constantly
Mhm.
redirecting. Hopefully they can find something that works. And yeah, the teams there are, obviously have their jobs and whatnot and satisfied. But yep, time will tell. We'll have to keep an eye on them. Another one, big expansion that dropped this week as of recording, the Cult of the Lamb Woolhaven DLC dropped. I got this article from GameSpot and Haley Williams, not from Paramore. Cult of the Lamb's massive new paid expansion Woolhaven is out today, marking the biggest influx of new content since the game's release in 2022. The $17 expansion takes the cult and its followers to the wintry new region of Woolhaven, the ancestral home of the Lambs. Devolver Digital and developer Massive Monster celebrated Woolhaven's release with an animated trailer showing the spirits of Lambs past helping the Lamb face off against new enemies in the snowy mountains. Devolver has hosted a live stream where players could watch a Lamb ice sculpture slowly melting with just a tiny bit of help from a blowtorch. Players hoping to get stuck in Woolhaven will need to have played the base game to near completion, as the DLC picks up after the end of the game. Continuing the main story of the Lamb and their growing cult, Woolhaven explores the history of Lambkind, tasking the player with restoring an abandoned village to its former glory and restoring the power of, Yingya, Y-N-G-Y-A, the forgotten god of the Lambs. The paid expansion also includes heaps of new gameplay features, from new hazards and quirks caused by the region's freezing weather to an all-new ranching system that will let you tame, breed, ride, and slaughter animals for precious resources.
Oh my
And it
God.
is out on all platforms, once again, for $17. So very excited for the team over at Massive Monster with this expansion. I'm a mixed bag where I'm like really happy for the team. I absolutely loved Cult of the Lamb the 2 times I've played it through. But on the other side of the coin, I'm like not chomping at the bit or like eagerly ready to jump back into it. And that's just a weird thing with me, similar to how we talked last week with Tape to Tape and like the early access or early release type stuff. When games get DLC so far out, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to pop back in. I probably will at some point, but we'll see. But congrats to the team. And from what I've heard of the size of this expansion, it's like could have been a sequel type size game.
Yeah, no, I'm always when a DLC for a game drops, even when it's far out, cough, Witcher 3, 11 years out, I'm still gonna get excited to jump back in. I actually do want to try this expansion. However, I've never actually beaten Cult of the Lamb.
Oh, okay.
I've gotten pretty far in Cult of the Lamb, but I got stuck on some of the points. Some of the action roguelike elements I just wasn't good at. I kept getting stomped by a couple bosses,
Sure.
so I've got to get back in there and play that because I was enjoying the sim farming part of it and everything. I had my little cult set up pretty nicely. It was pretty efficient. I was finally getting like outhouses and other stuff
Mm-hmm.
that's very necessary to you know get rid of some of the stuff and be efficient in the game. But yeah, just never beat it. Never beat the action roguelike part. So I'd like to jump into this expansion, but it sounds like I can't even if I wanted to. I'd have to play more of the game.
Right. Well, if you did jump back into it, there were other free expansions in between, probably when you played and now. So at least there would be new stuff to you. Like when I played it through the second time uh, with my ex, like I was like, "Whoa, what's this thing? Where I don't remember this in the base game." And it was like she was experiencing it entirely new, and I still had new stuff that I was going through. So that was kind of nice. And we were playing it together because there is a co-op mode. So, um, yeah, it was a good time. But yeah, hopefully you can get back into that, and yeah, maybe we'll talk Woolhaven down the road. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely.
Quick one for me, and more Street Fighter 6 news. We talked about Alex's reveal trailer a few weeks ago. Selfishly, I mean, not really selfishly, it doesn't connect with me, but another passion of mine, wrestling. Wrestler Kenny Omega has done some mocap for the character of Alex, doing some wrestling moves, some grapples there, including his finisher, the one-winged angel. Yes, that is a Final Fantasy VII reference because this man is a nerd. So thought that was really cool. And yeah, just excited for Kenny and obviously the release of Alex coming up. I got two more stories. One quick one. As of today, Nintendo, which ironically you talked about last week, was like rumored a direct. Well, guess what? There is a direct. It's coming out Sunday, but it's for the movie. Super Mario Galaxy is getting a direct on this coming Sunday as of recording at 6 a.m. Pacific. So if you want more Super Mario Galaxy shit, that is the direct for you. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch the movie and then watch the direct.
There you go.
I'm gonna marathon it back to back. Give me that sweet, sweet Mario Illumination Studios goodness. I love it. I'm all here for it.
Nice. And then last piece of news that I have is just a quick recap of the Xbox Showcase that aired this week as well. This is from Kotaku and Kenneth Shepard. Today, January 22nd, Xbox held another one of its developer direct showcases. These streams show off a handful of games, usually from Xbox's first-party studios or partners. And this time, we got our first look at Fable, a deep dive into the next game in the Forza Horizon series, and a big reveal on the new project from Game Freak, the studio behind the mainline Pokemon RPGs. If you missed it, check out the VOD. So the four big games that came out of this was Forza Horizon 6, Beast of Reincarnation, which is from Game Freak, Kiln, which is from Double Fine, and Fable, we got a gameplay teaser reveal from Playground Games. So, Xbox fans, you got some stuff to look forward to, and I believe a few of those, if not all of those, are also going to be cross-platform. So PC and PlayStation, you guys have those to look forward to as well. And that's
Never actually played Fable, so I saw some of the gameplay footage. I didn't see the Xbox Direct, so some of those games are news to me. I didn't realize Game Freak was making an Xbox game. That's pretty exciting. But yeah, I saw the Fable gameplay trailer, and I'm like, this actually looks pretty darn good. I might actually give Fable a try, but I've never played the original Fable, so maybe it'll be all new and exciting for me since I've never played the original. How about you? Have you played Fable before or Fable 2?
I played a little bit of Fable 3. I believe it was an Xbox 360 title. I played a little bit. It didn't get its hooks into me at the time. So while I think it's very impressive looking, the new Fable with the first reveal trailer with what's the guy's name? Richard something from IT Crowd. I don't know. But that looked really impressive. And then, yeah, the subsequent gameplay that we've seen from this teaser looks nice. But I don't think it'll be anything that I sink my teeth into. But happy for those who are excited.
Yeah, you can color me into one of those that's excited. I watched Jesse Cox go through it, talk about it. So
Nice.
shout out to Jesse Cox and his live stream. Yes, that's all you have for news.
Yes, sir.
I've got some Nintendo news as well. The Nintendo Switch 2 remains the fastest selling video game hardware platform in tracked history. Unit sales of the Switch 2 are 35% ahead of PlayStation 4's sales pace after 7 months in market. There's a little asterisk with that, though. The Game Boy Advance actually sold a little bit faster than the Switch 2. But that's a handheld, so it doesn't count. This is technically a console thing, even though the Switch 2 is also a handheld, but we're not going to get into that.
Well, you could dock it.
Yeah, it's got a big fancy dock.
Yep.
You can put it on your TV in 4K, baby.
Yep.
4K Nintendo games.
Sure.
So that was pretty exciting. It's good. We're talking about all this hardware woes and everything and RAM prices and stuff. It's good that Nintendo is still selling relatively well. I mean, not even relatively well. They're selling well. It's selling good. So I don't know how, because there's not really the titles to support it, but it's selling good.
Right.
There is another title that is coming out soon, though, that I think might make me want to dip my toes into it, but
Mm-hmm.
that's spoilers for later on in the episode. That's a
Okay.
little sneak peek.
Attention.
Um, my selfish plug here is that Space Marine 2 is coming to Game Pass.
Oh, cool.
So that's great. If you have Game Pass, definitely check it out because I think that's a great game for Game Pass because the campaign is only like 8 to 10 hours long, depending on what difficulty you play it on. If you play it on hard, it might take you 15 hours. It's pretty freaking hard. Um, but it also has, like I said, those multiplayer modes, the PvE modes, the PvP modes, and stuff that you can go into repeatedly. So you can play that campaign, and then if you like it, you can stick around and kind of mess around with the game. So that's pretty exciting. Um, Marathon confirmed its release date of March 5th, 2026. It's a Bungie-made extraction shooter, so that's exciting. If you haven't heard of Marathon, if you've been under a rock, because they've been promoting it a lot. Marathon is an extraction shooter. I don't know what that means still, because I've never played one.
Sure.
But
Get thing, take thing away. I don't know.
yeah, run, get thing, run away.
Right.
I think is what it is. I think that's what Arc Raiders is, an extraction shooter.
I think so.
Yeah, couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. Not my bag of games. But for all of you who are excited about Marathon, there you go. You got March 5th, which is just right around the corner. So we'll have to see if that's Bungie's next big game or if it's going to die on the vine. We'll have to
Yeah.
see. Speaking of dying on the vine, Russia is thinking about banning GTA 6 before it's even out. They're talking about banning GTA 6.
Okay.
Um, which would take 140 million people out of the game's circulation. So Rockstar would not like that. Um,
Did they cite a reason?
they did not cite a reason. They just said
Okay.
that they're thinking about banning it.
Thanks, Russia.
Thank you, Russia, for being on top of things. That's what's important right now is Grand Theft Auto. And as always, about people who just a slight tangent for people who get upset about Grand Theft Auto or games like Call of Duty and things. I just want to say and reiterate, art imitates life, not the other way around. It's Grand Theft Auto because Grand Theft Auto is a crime that happens in real life. People commit crime,
What?
so we made a game about it. Yeah. It's not that we made a game about crime and then people started committing crime,
Yeah.
as always. But yeah, so that's it for news. Just some quick things. I'm excited for that Nintendo Direct on Sunday.
Yeah.
You think I'm joking, but I'm tuning in for sure.
Yeah, no, I love the first tease and the reveal of Bowser Jr. and whatnot. I was just like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we're getting Bowser Jr. and Rosalina. Sign me up.
Mm-hmm.
All I need now is Ludwig.
Oh, no Wario and Waluigi.
We can save those for the third movie.
Okay.
I don't know if I need to see an animated Waluigi. I think that might haunt my dreams. But he is in a game that I'll talk about later. I keep referencing it, but it'll happen, I promise. But speaking of games that we're talking about later, let's talk about games we're playing right now. What games have you been playing, Brett?
Hi, it's me. It's the guy who's going to talk about Slay the Spire for the third week in a row. Slay the Spire's going great. I'm still loving it. I have beat it with the Silent. Woohoo! Shivs won it for me, and there were some cards that like added damage to each individual Shiv. So while she has poison, I managed to squeak out a win with that. So I have beat the game with the 3 main characters. I did learn that the Watcher, the 4th character, must have been add-on DLC because her trophies are separate in the trophy list. So I'm starting to learn things about like the second stage of the game. Last week I was crazy and talked about defeating the heart. That is the thing, but it is I need to have reading comprehension because when you beat the runs normally with the characters, you damage this heart and then it says a big ass number and that's like the total amount of cumulative every player has attacked the heart amount of damage, not the heart has this much health. So I have been playing it more. I have learned that, I mean, the game's been out for a while, so spoiler alert. When you beat the game with each hero or character, you get a little cutscene at the end where like a piece of a door highlights the color of your respective character. And when you're going through it, you want to beat it with all 3. Once you beat it with all 3 characters, then when you play it again, what happens is you run it back with any of the 3 characters, and essentially that character is finding those pieces of the door. You want to collect them, beat the act 3 again, and there will be a 4th act. Have I gotten that far? No. Am I trying to? Yes. So for now, it's been kind of just jumping in between the 3 characters, seeing like who I want to play as or who can I make it the farthest with. I think I'm leaning towards the defect as I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with the orbs and stuff. But we'll see. It's just going to be a lot of trial and error there. Like I talked about last week, I doubt I'm going for the platinum of this one. So it might be just like, all right, can I get to the 2nd stage of beating it? And then we'll kind of call it a day there, and I can just keep playing it like casually. Not that I'm playing it hardcore now, but you get the point. So Slay the Spire is going great.
I just want to say 2 things on Slay the Spire while I got you on the topic. One, I'm glad that I got you addicted to the game because it is very fun and addicting. But secondly, I just want to say that, you've gotten much further than I have. I have not been able to beat the game consistently. I feel like when I beat the game, it's a fluke. I feel like it's similar to my Balatro experience where like I can beat Balatro, but not not every run, definitely not sequentially. So that's how I feel about Slay the Spire. I'm not able to beat it consistently. So the fact that you're consistently getting to that 3rd act and beating it is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I will say I feel very similar to you. I've only beat it with each character once, and I may have beaten it with Ironclad a 2nd time. So consistency, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's tough because sometimes you're like, all right, I gotta focus on defense, and then you focus on defense too much, and then you don't have enough attack, and you're like, all right, well, I'm gonna focus all attack. Nope, I'm gonna get smacked with this one move. It's like, come on. That RNG.
Yeah, like I really need to upgrade this card, but I also really need to get that. I need the health back. So.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a tough thing.
It's pretty tough.
Yeah. Next game I'm going to talk about is Marvel Rivals, baby. Because we've been playing with Deadpool, and I'm liking him a lot. I don't think it's anything too special in terms of a difference between the 3 classes per se. So your healer, your damage, and your tank. The move set is pretty much all the same. It's just what those moves do. Do you have guns? Yes. Do you have swords? Yes. Are you healing with them? Yes. Or are you shooting with them? Or damaging? Yes. It's just like the specifics are just dependent on the class itself. But for the most part, you are doing the same thing regardless of the role you are playing. But I have been enjoying them. I was talking with you outside of podcast about like, it feels different than Gambit, where when Gambit came out, it was insta-lock. People was playing Gambit left, right, and center for like a week, maybe 2. At least in my experience, Deadpool has been insta-locked at some point where people are picking him immediately. But it's been a few times where I'm like, all right, I'm waiting. Huh, nobody picked him. All right, sure, I'll try him. And that was like the only reason I really dove into him was that first day we played together. I'm like, oh, I have an opportunity. Okay. I wasn't like excited for him or anything. But yeah, it's been a good time playing with him. I've added him to my rotation of like people I'll keep in the roster as options to play with. I think I'm just going to keep him DPS, to be honest. He's not a bad healer, but you have to be accurate with your shots with the pistols. He has a big like sword throwing thing that does like a little whirlwind. That's a nice kind of AoE heal effect if he is doing heals or the damage. His ultimate's weird. It just kind of blocks the other player from doing any attacks, actions. So if you affect them with the ultimate, every time they push a button, it will either hurt them or their accuracy is awful and they will go nowhere near where they're aiming, whether they're healing or attacking. So it's not the best ult. So I think he's more stronger in his base abilities than what his ultimate is from my perspective so far and what I've encountered. And he hasn't been too annoying on the opposite end too when you're against him, at least so far. So yeah, been having a good time with him. Looking forward to trying him out some more, seeing if I can pick up on anything new. But yeah, the main thing I was surprised about was the lack of insta locking. So I don't know, maybe that'll just change with time or whatever. We'll have to see.
Yeah, maybe it's due to the ultimate because I agree his ultimate is a little bit of weak sauce, and I he is annoying to face against if you play against a really good Deadpool.
Mm,
He can bounce on your head, he can pogo, and man, is it frustrating when he's bouncing on your head and killing you. It almost feels like when Spider-Man punches you up in the air
yep.
and you're just like flailing like I don't know what the fuck to do. Uh that's what Deadpool is. He's bouncing on your head and you're like get off of me and he
That's a good
just
call.
he just hits you like 3 or 4 times. It's pretty annoying, but not every Deadpool does that. I've only encountered that a couple of times. Most Deadpools I feel like aren't skilled enough yet, I
Right.
guess would be the right word to pull that off because it's not easy to do.
Hmm.
Um
Yeah.
so
Good call. Um, excuse me. And then the last one, very briefly, another one I was like, a point I told you, I was like, or maybe it was last week, but I was like, I feel bad. I'm talking about the same games week in, week out. I want to bring something new to the table this week. So last night I did start a new game. Excuse me. Another indie that came out last year as my voice goes to shit for whatever reason. I started up To a T last night. And if you don't know what To a T is, you are a little girl and you're playing through the game with her and her puppo. And for some reason that you'll probably find out in this game, she is stuck in a T pose, or at least her arms are. Um, and it's essentially just a problem world like solving thing where you need to learn how to interact with your arms in the world. So the introductory area that I was playing, you're prepping and getting her ready for school. So you have to figure out, okay, well, how do I eat breakfast? How do I brush my teeth? How do I wash my face? So you're using the analog sticks to control different parts of your body, whether it's like your hips or turning your arms and shoulders or whatever it is. Depends on the puzzle. They're all unique. And then your L1 and R1 are your hands. So you have to figure out, okay, I got to pivot this way. I got to grab this with my hand. I got this really long spoon for my cereal. Okay, I got to get it down in there. And then I got to somehow like pivot it into my mouth and stuff like that. So it's goofy. It's funny. It's not difficult. I wouldn't compare this like to an Octodad, where Octodad is very physics based and like you're really delicate with your movements and things can hit the fan and go crazy really, really fast.
Mhm.
This one is way more simpler than that, where it's just more of like you're in a goofy situation, but this is how you can achieve your goal type thing. Um, so I've only played it for maybe 45 minutes to an hour, like that opening area. So I'm looking forward to playing more of it. The story they've set up is interesting, of like there is some kind of mystery that's going on in terms of like her stresses, and her mom's keeping a secret from her about her dad who's not present, and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to playing more, discovering that. All the characters are very delightful. You can customize your main character, give her whatever name you want to. Same with your little puppo. You can't customize him, but you can like assign him a name. So I gave him an old family dog's name, and I'm like, this is nice. Um, so it's been a good time. Looking forward to playing more of it this weekend, and I think it's a shorter thing, so maybe I'll talk about it in full next week. But that's it for me. What about you?
That's cool. What was that game called again? I'm sorry.
To a T, so TO space A space T.
You would see. All right, cool. That sounds very interesting. I might have to check that out because that sounds funny. It sounds like
Nice.
I would be laughing trying to put cereal in my mouth.
Yeah.
I've also been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. I have not checked out Deadpool at all. I've just been playing, just for full disclosure, just going through a little mental health thing. So Marvel Rivals is I don't know, something about playing a multiplayer game where it's like I don't have to think about objectives and the world building and stuff like that. I can just hop on and try and hold a point or push a cart somewhere or something. So something about the multiplayer games have been good. So I'm playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. Also been playing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond.
Hmm.
Is what I've been playing a lot of, and it's interesting. I've played Pokemon Platinum back in the day, but never Diamond and Pearl. So I know Platinum's basically Diamond and Pearl, but with like a little bit of extra stuff with Giratina. It's the Pokemon Yellow, if you will, to the Diamond and Pearl.
Yep.
But yeah, I've really been enjoying it actually.
Good.
There are some annoying things. Like I don't like the experience share. I talked to you about this off the podcast, but I don't like that experience share is automatic and you can't turn it off.
Mm.
I looked in the options. I wanted to turn it off because I like my old school Pokemon experience where it's like, no, if you want that Magikarp to level up, you either have to switch it out every battle or you're gonna have to just wait till it learns Tackle at like level 15 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so you just get automatic experience share for your whole party, and you get experience for catching Pokemon, which I don't know if that was always a thing.
No,
Um,
they've added that more recently with since the Let's Go series and Pokemon Go, where in Pokemon Go, the mobile game, obviously you're just going around and collecting Pokemon. That's all you're doing. I don't think there's any
mm,
battles in that. And then Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee on the Switch, it was like 95% all catching mechanics. That's how you got your XP. You
mm.
could catch like 100 Pidgeys and then you would like give them to Professor Oak. And the joke was always that the Pokemon would be ground up into XP candies that he would then give you. But in those games, at least, there was a few battles, excuse me. So Jesse and James were in the game, so you would go against them as it followed Pokemon Yellow's mainline game in terms of story. So you would fight them, you would fight the gym leaders, and probably Elite Four. I never got that far into it in those games. But I know that's when it started picking up steam. I don't know if it's been in every title since then, because I know the Legends games don't follow the catching experience. They do the
Right.
share. No, I don't know if the Legends do the share, but I know not X and Y. Violet, Scarlet and Violet, I believe they have it. So it's like that new form of Pokemon that they've been messing around with. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different Pokemon games on the Switch that I could have chosen from. I could have chosen from the Legends series. I could have chosen Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet. But I just really wanted more of a traditional Pokemon experience, like the old school. And Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are the closest that there is on the Switch to that.
Mm-hmm.
It is a pretty traditional Pokemon experience where you're going through the tall grass and you can't see the Pokemon on the screen and stuff like that. Um, and it's truncated because it is a remake of that DS game, and during that time, it was still very much we're kind of remaking the same game over and over again.
Yeah.
Um, so I like that experience. It's comforting. It's like a comfort food for me. So I've been enjoying that. There's also they did add like an underground area.
Okay.
Um so it feels kind of like Zelda well, I can't think of the name right now. What's the sequel to Breath of the Wild?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom, where there's a whole underground world, like that mirrors the above world, because there's a whole
Hmm.
underground Pokemon world. And in the underground Pokemon world, there actually is Pokemon roaming around on the map,
Oh, okay.
that you can see and you can dodge and stuff. So that was pretty cool to see that they added this whole as far as I can tell or remember about Platinum, because I remember Platinum pretty well because I played it when I was like 16 or 17, 6 7, and oh gosh, now it's in the podcast. Anyway,
Only took 25
uh
episodes.
yeah, we'll cut that out.
Yeah.
Actually, cut this whole episode.
Yep.
Just cut this.
Scrap it. It's over. You ruined it.
But yeah, I remember it pretty well, and I don't remember this underground section at all. I think they added it completely new, and it's really cool. You can just go there at any time. Like I said, it's the size of the full map, so there's some rare Pokemon down there. I found a Gastrodon down there, which is cool. I love Gastrodon. I gotta say, I liked Gastrodon because he's a water ground type. There's a lot of water ground types in this game. You have Gastrodon, you have oh gosh, I can't think of his name now. Quagsire.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Barbacow. That's nope, that's a meat. It's there's a fish that starts with a B-A-B, uh, and it's also water ground type,
Hmm.
which is bizarre. So I'm like, I don't know why they were really heavy on the sub ground types in this game.
Sure.
I mean, I like it because I'm a ground type fiend. I always like to have a mostly ground type team, with the exception of my lightning types. I'm always gonna have an electricity type on my team. And I found a Pikachu, so
Mm.
I'm definitely gonna have a Raichu on my team. Raichu is one of my favorite Pokemon. I told you Nidoking is my favorite Pokemon. It's probably Raichu actually.
Nice.
Raichu does not get enough love. Everybody loves Pikachu. Nobody loves Raichu.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, yeah, a lot of weird Pokemon types. I feel like it was kind of a lazy generation, this generation of Pokemon,
Okay.
where like you have a bird type that's like exactly like Pidgey, basically the
Oh,
Starly or whatever.
I mean,
Uh,
let's not shit on Starly too bad because Star Raptor's badass as hell. Unfortunately, and it's one of my favorites. So there's always, generic bird, generic normal for every game.
yeah,
Um,
Bidoof.
yeah, Bidoof in this one. So you Gen 1, you got your Rattata and your Pidgey. Gen 2, you got, sorry, I'm about to nerd out right here. Gen 2, you
Mm.
got your Sentret. And you got Hoot was the bird that gen, kinda. I mean, dark type, it's a little different, but whatever. Gen
Yeah,
3.
don't shit on Hoot Hoot.
Oh no, Hoot's great. I'm saying like in comparison to the rest, like Hoot's at least different where it was dark type.
Yeah.
Gen 3, who was Sentret was the generic, like normal type thing. And then my favorite was the bird, was just a robin called Tallow.
Oh
But
yeah.
Tallow and Swallow get no love because I'm sorry, they're just kind of just there in comparison to the other birds. They're kind of shit. And then yeah, like you said, Bidoof and Starly, and that trend continues through. But yeah,
Okay, yeah, okay. Maybe it's not the most generic one. That maybe I didn't pick up on that trend of there always being a bird and
it
then a
seems
normal
like
type.
there is. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That does make a lot of sense. I mean, they did introduce. I don't know if this is the first one that Luxray is in.
I believe
Um,
so. Yeah, Shinx, Luxray,
yeah,
and Luxio or something like that. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I called him Luxuriate. But he's one of my favorite electric types because he's an electric type that uses physical.
Hmm.
Like he's got physical move attributes instead of special attack. He's just got normal attack attributes, so you want to get like the electric bite with him and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which is cool. I remember I can't remember which Pokemon game it was, but I had a Luxray that had like Ice Fang, Fire Fang, Lightning Fang, and like just regular bite or
Nice.
whatever. And it was awesome because I could just take out anybody with this Luxray.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm hoping that I can build up this Luxray to be the same thing. Full disclosure, I got my sister Pokemon Shining Pearl, so hopefully we can battle with our level 100 Pokemons whenever we get there. It's supposed to ice in this weekend, so we're gonna play and trade. I've got a Kadabra, so I need to trade it to
Mm,
her so I can get an Alakazam, for
yeah.
example. It's a classic. Everybody wants an Alakazam, so
Yeah, God, I get why they made trade exclusive Pokemon, but God, is it frustrating every gen? You're like, fuck.
yeah. And I've got to trust that she'll give me back my level 40
I would hope she
Alakazam
would, but
when
yeah.
I trade it to her. She's like, come on, please.
You gave me a
Uh,
Weedle.
yeah, why? Yeah, you gave me a whip, please. Oh, but yeah, I really, like I said, I've been enjoying it, even though it's kind of the simplistic one. All the reviews I watched, people were like, "This is the worst Pokemon game on the Switch," but I think it might be one of my favorites. I'm really enjoying it.
Good.
I got to get back into Legends and stuff, but as far as normal Pokemon games go, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond is a good time if you're looking for a traditional Pokemon experience, which I absolutely was. So that's really what I've been playing is mostly Pokemon and Marvel Rivals, honestly.
Very cool.
I said I was going to jump into Silent Hill 2 last week, and I chickened out, so
I
that
don't
has not
blame
happened yet.
you.
Yeah, I will start that game, just not right now.
Sorry, Mike. Just jab them here and there, like, hey,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
like I'll play Silent Hill too. It's just yeah, for sure. So that concludes what we've been playing. Now we're gonna jump into my favorite topic, which is, hey man, it's a topic. So this week for our topic, I'm gonna on your stream on Twitch slash Enigma 9011, twitch.tv slash Enigma 9011. Excuse me, I messed it up.
You're good.
Um,
Link down
I
below.
did a game redemption thing because
Hmm.
Brett, you have a fun thing on your stream where if you get 25,000 channel points, you can redeem it for a game. It takes 5 ever to get those channel points, but it
Well, I
is
don't want
worth
people to
it.
go crazy.
Yeah, it is absolutely worth it. So for my last channel redemption on your stream, I did Space Marine 2. So now I'm gonna get you ready for Space Marine 2.
Woo!
Uh, um, First of all, it's been a while. It's been a while. What do you remember about Space Marines? or Warhammer 40K in general.
Okay.
And you don't have to tell me everything. You could
Yeah,
just
no,
do a
there's no
short
way.
thing. Yeah.
So Space Marines are like genetically mutated super soldiers with the big ass armor.
Hmm.
I remember, I believe I remember, at some point, the main leader guy has his army, but then there's also like a revolting or a separate army also of the super soldiers, and there's like multiple
Hmm.
factions of these guys who are fighting against each other, all
Yes.
super soldier esque. Okay, so that was one pivot of this. Um, I remember another pivot of this was the super soldiers fighting monsters and demons and fighting those guys off. Which I believe this game more focuses on. Um, I
I
think
mean,
that's it.
honestly, that's great so far.
All right, good.
Yeah, no, that's great. They're genetically modified super soldiers in special armor, ceramite armor. It's like
mm,
a thick plate of like super bullet, laser proof,
mm-hmm.
whatever proof. They're tanks. They're walking tanks. The joke is that Space Marines don't need cover. They are the cover. They just walk out in front of things. Um, but yeah, there was a revolt and everything, but all the Space Marines are split up into chapters.
Right.
And so after the revolt, they made the chapters smaller, so you can only have 1,000 Space Marines per chapter.
Okay.
So it's very, very limited. But they're all specialized. Like one's Viking, one's the Salamanders who use like flamethrowers.
Hmm.
One is like the Carcadons who are like the shark ones. They like close up combat. There's some that are like stealthy. There's some that are like long range. You know, so that people could have like different things on the tabletop or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But in that, there is a special Space Marine chapter called the Death Watch. And what the Death Watch is they take Space Marines from each other chapter and they make up these special squads of like elite soldiers. And their
Mm,
whole job is to fight Xenos or aliens,
okay.
just the alien races. So in the beginning of Space Marine 2, because of the events of Space Marine 1, that's really not that important, but because of the events of Space Marine 1, we find our main character in the Death Watch. So he has to fight Xenos. So he's wearing all black, which is pretty sick. That's what the Death Watch do. They wear all black except for their left pauldron is the color of their original chapter. So he's got a blue left pauldron because he's from the Ultramarines.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in the Death Watch and he's fighting the Tyranids. Now, this is what we're going to get into today, is the Tyranids. I called them bug dinosaurs before,
Mm-hmm.
and while that is a pretty accurate synopsis, I'm going to get into the full lore. I stole some stuff from some codexes and some game things, so I hope this isn't too boring. I'm going to make it as brief as possible, but I will read some from this. The Tyranids are one of the most terrifying factions in Warhammer 40k because they are not an empire, a religion, or a culture. They are a force of nature. They exist for a single overriding purpose to consume all biological life and convert it into more Tyranids. Um, and that includes all organic matter, by the way, oceans, animals, even atmospheric gases.
Hmm.
They go into a planet and they turn it into a rock. Like they turn it into an asteroid. They suck up everything on the planet.
Bastards.
It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah. Um, One of the most unsettling things about the Tyranids is that they come from outside the Milky Way galaxy. So nobody knows where they come from. Some people say that they've already conquered, thousands of other galaxies they've just devoured and devoured. Some people say that they're running from something else even more terrifying than the Tyranids. Out,
Galactus.
yeah, from Galactus. Actually, I would love to see Tyranids versus Galactus. That would be a sick fight because they would just like climb up his body and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Um, let's see. They have a hive mind. All Tyranids are connected through a vast psychic intelligence known as the hive mind. This is not a god in the traditional sense, but a galaxy-spanning consciousness made up of trillions of organisms acting as one.
Oh God.
Um, Individual Tyranids have no free will. Even powerful leaders are extensions of the hive mind because they do have hive tyrants,
Okay.
which are like almost leader-like, and they control all of the Tyranids around them.
Sure.
Um, I wish I could screen share and just show you some of the models of the Tyranids, but basically you have like the little Termagants and Hormagaunts, which are basically little velociraptors, and then you have like these massive monsters called Carnifexes and stuff, which are like uh, I mean, I kind of want to call them T-Rexes, but they're like so much more. They have these giant scythe hands, and
Mm.
like they're they're crazy. There's like I forget what the other ones are called. There some of them that like have tails and stuff, and like they look crazy. So they vary in forms by a lot. Um, they travel in hive fleets. So Tyranids travel through space in massive biological armadas known as hive fleets. Each hive fleet has its own evolutionary adaptations and preferred strategies. Um, some of the most famous ones are the High Fleet Behemoth. It's the first major invasion, favored direct, overwhelming assaults. You have the High Fleet Kraken, which is fast, highly adaptable, striking across multiple fronts, and the High Fleet Leviathan, attacks from below galactic plane, extremely resilient and coordinated. So you have these different manifestations of the Tyranids. They tend to evolve rapidly and stuff as they consume planets. They will evolve different tactics. Um, the common bioforms are the Gaunts, the Gene Stealers, which are highly intelligent shock troops with terrifying speed and lethality. You've got the Warriors, the Carnifexes, the Hive Tyrants. I kind of went over that. Um, but they also evolve like bioweapons.
Hmm.
So they don't just have claws and fangs, they also shoot like bioorganic spines at people and stuff, and they
Oh.
have like acid that they shoot out. Yeah, they're basically bioweapons in every sense of the word. Like they are meant to kill and destroy.
Hmm.
Um, what else? Oh, here's my favorite part. There's something called gene stealer cults. A single gene stealer cult can infect a population, creating hybrid offspring that look mostly human. Over generations, these hybrids form secret cults within imperial society, miners, workers, soldiers, even officials. When a hive fleet approaches, the cult rises in rebellion, defenses collapse from within, and the planet is lost before the Tyranids even arrive. So they will like send out these scouting gene stealers, and they will start to foment resistance from within a planet, which is pretty crazy. And they start these cults and stuff, and they start worshiping the Tyranids, and they start worshiping death. And then the Tyranids come, and like I said, the defenses are already down, so
Hmm.
it's pretty brutal.
Yikes.
Um, yeah, and that's about it. I've got some more here where it says Tyranids versus the Galaxy, but it's just like how each faction reacts to fighting them. The orcs fighting the Tyranids is kind of funny because orcs when they die, they burst into spores, and then there more orcs get born.
Okay.
And Tyranids, when they kill things, they make more Tyranids out of the biomatter.
Hmm.
So as they're fighting, they're both just like constantly spawning more and more, and it's
Yeah.
just an endless fight of both of them growing stronger.
Hmm.
Um, the only faction that really has a chance is the Necrons, which I haven't gotten into, but they're basically skeletons. they're
Okay.
they're space skeletons with guns, and the space skeletons they're a hard counter against the Tyranids because they have no biomatter because they're actually metal skeletons. They're
Oh.
robot skeletons. Yeah. They're metal robot skeleton things, and they have no bioorganic matter, so the Tyranids can't consume them. But even Chaos fears the Tyranids because the Tyranids don't just consume your body, they consume your soul with their psychic link. So the Chaos is afraid of them because they steal the souls from the Chaos gods.
Hmm.
Um, and that's it. Last part, why are Tyranids truly terrifying? They do not negotiate, they do not hate, they do not stop. They learn from every defeat. The Tyranids. That's pretty much it. They're pretty cool. Have you ever played StarCraft?
A little bit. It kind of freaked me out as a kid because I'm a big wimp. So I was more on the Warcraft side of things, but I did dip my toes into StarCraft. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, StarCraft actually, fun fact, originally was supposed to be a Warhammer 40K
Oh.
real-time strategy game, but Blizzard lost the license for whatever reason, so they made StarCraft instead, which is why it's very similar to Warhammer 40K.
Mm.
And I forget what the enemy is called in StarCraft, but the Zerg, maybe?
Sounds
Is
right,
that is
but
it? Does that sound right?
it sounds familiar.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah.
Yes, it is the
Hmm.
Zerg.
Good
The
call.
Zerg were meant to be the Tyranids, so they're
Okay.
very similar. So that's if anybody needs a point of reference, that's what Tyranids are basically. They are the Zerg because that's what they were supposed to be. Um, But yeah, that's what he ends up fighting in the beginning of Space Marine 2 is the Tyranids. He goes to a planet that's getting invaded by Tyranids, and when a planet's getting invaded by Tyranids, it's just massive unrest. And so a giant hive fleet comes down, and all these bio things come down in the sky, and they start eating the atmosphere, and they start spitting acid everywhere and start
Right, yeah.
attacking cities. It's pretty horrifying and ridiculous, and they kill humans in the billions.
Mm.
Usually. So I can't imagine being an Imperial Guardsman, which is basically just your normal army guy sitting there with a laser weapon, just being like, "Oh my God, Jesus Christ, I can't shoot all the dinosaur things." So I've always wanted to write a Warhammer 40K book from the perspective of a guy during a Tyranid invasion, just being like, "Holy shit, this is insane."
That'd be cool.
Um, yeah, but what are your thoughts about the Tyranids? Do you have any questions? Did that make any sense what I just said?
Oh, it
Or
made a lot of sense. I'm just like, woo, that man, that is gonna be a tough hill to climb. Like, so the hive mind thing.
yeah.
I got Stranger Things on the mind because that wrapped up recently. Um, how does that work? Because in my head, we're gonna be big, dumb super marines, and you're shooting shit, and like they're all running in, like horde mode or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm damaging 1, 2, 10, however many, I assume the rest aren't going to be like, my brain, my body. Like, how does that
Oh
work?
yeah, no, they don't share feelings, just thoughts.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So
Yeah.
it's not a
And it's like a
physical
psychic
connection.
link. They
Okay,
actually tap into the warp for a psychic connection with each other. So it's space magic.
okay.
Let's say.
And is there like, I know you talked about, at least in terms of hierarchy, there's like the general esque, but they're still being controlled. Is there a one control thing that is the hive for the mind, or is it just like we're all this species and this species is just going to come through and try and take everything with
I
no
think it's
vendetta?
just the species. I'm not sure. I'd have to recheck one of my books because I do have a couple novels that involve with Tyranid invasions and stuff. I know if you take out like a hive tyrant, for example, all of the ones around it will kind of freak out
Okay,
and die a little bit because they do have like a synapsis effect to them. So like you can take out the larger ones and it'll fuck up the smaller ones for a little bit, but it's not like permanent.
sure.
And I don't know if you kill I think if you kill the ship, the Hive fleet,
Mm,
um, I think that'll also end the invasion as
mm.
well. But that's really hard, and the Imperial Navy usually doesn't have the firepower to do so.
So is the ship also a hive mind creature, or is it a physical ship somehow?
Yeah, it's like a bio ship. It's
Gotcha.
like made out of biomatter, and it's also a living, thinking thing,
Okay, okay, cool.
which is bizarre.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Hmm.
yeah. In the board game of Warhammer 40K, you actually have like synapse checks and like bubbles. So you have like your leaders, like your hive tyrants, and then you have the little guys around it, and they from like 12 inches around the guy, they like always pass leadership checks because he's so I'm getting into real nerd
You're
shit
good.
leadership checks. They always are mentally fortified if they're within 12 inches of the guy because they have that
Gotcha.
psychic link. So there's like
Yeah.
bubbles around the bigger ones to control the smaller ones, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah, that sounds like it's going to be quite the hill to climb. Is that the entire? Are they the entire baddie of Space Marine 2's story, or is it like you mentioned when you open, it's an invasion from the Tyranids? Maybe it's just that one planet or wherever that first initial stage slash mission is that it's that.
I would say it's like 90% of the game, but I will
Okay.
say there is a second enemy type that approaches. I'm not gonna spoil who it
Oh,
is,
sure.
but if
Yeah.
you know 40K, it's always the same fucking enemy.
Gotcha.
It's always the great enemy. If you know, you know. But
Mm,
that's you'll come across that for sure. Yeah, it's like 90% of even when there's a new enemy, it's within the backdrop of a Tyranid
sure.
invasion.
You need fodder. That makes sense. All right. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's the Tyranid. So now you'll understand them a little bit more when you play Space Marine 2, and you'll be like, oh, these guys are scary.
Yeah, I
They're
need to
not.
take care of this, or else the planet will turn to a rock.
Yeah, they'll destroy everything. Um, yeah, so that was a cool little segment. now we're just gonna get into what we're excited for playing. What are you excited for in the future?
So I got one that's coming out this year for my anime fans. I've fallen out of the series just in terms of like keeping up to it, but it's one I love and I need to get back to. I'd like to give a shout to a game coming out soon. It's called My Hero Academia All Justice. For this from their site. Smash through My Hero Academia's final story arc and triumph over your foes in spectacular 3v3 battles. Follow Deku and the journeys of other characters in the final war between heroes and villains, and experience the world-shaking climactic clash between One for All and All for One in My Hero Academia's All's Justice. My Hero Academia All's Justice is a superpowered 3D arena fighter where your favorite characters from My Hero Academia franchise appear in their latest and most powerful forms, framed within a refined battle system that showcases their quirks to their limits. So I was very late to the party, like everything, with My Hero Academia, but I really enjoyed it. And I ended up playing One's Justice, which was the first game of this series, and the sequel. Loved the first one, played that through all the way. I believe I have the platinum for it. Played the second one. It had some tweaks and changes I wasn't super stoked about, but I played most of it. Still need to go back and fully finish it. But to see that there's a third one that will conclude, obviously, with the anime ending and kind of wrap up that story arc, I'm like, oh, cool. I'll be able to play through that in game form. Like I said, I've fallen out of it in terms of like not keeping up with it. I think I'm behind definitely the last season that came out, but I believe there's one more season from where I stopped. For my anime fans, I stopped at the point where Eri is saved, little unicorn horn girl, where she's saved. That's where I stopped. So at some point, I got to get back into the series, watch the remaining stuff that I have missed. But at some point, I would like to jump into this because yeah, they're pretty fun, put together 3D brawlers. So yeah.
They kind of play like those 3D like Naruto fighters from back in the day.
I think so. I don't have any experience personally, but I think that is an apt comparison. Yeah.
Okay, those games are always fun. They're not like competitive because there's always like some breaking things, but it's just fun to mess around with and
Yeah.
feel powerful and stuff. And especially if you like the anime, it's cool to be like, I'm the anime character
Right.
now. And I can do the
Yeah.
anime things.
For sure.
Do you enjoy that anime? Have you watched a lot of it? Or
Yeah, I love My Hero. Like I said, I was late to the party with it, but I absolutely fell in love with it. Do you know any premise of the show for My Hero?
I have no idea what it's even about.
Oh, okay.
Besides, maybe it's in a school because academia.
Yeah, so it is a school. So it was a superhero school. So it's these kids, and everyone in the world has superpowers for the most part. And those superpowers are called quirks. So it's just one supernatural ability that they have. And you go to school and you learn how to use your quirk to hopefully be a hero. And as they progress through their school, they have different challenges. They compete against other schools. Obviously, they're competing against their classmates. And you follow like this one classroom specifically and learn about their abilities, and kind of see their journey from first learning their quirks, to going out and doing like internships and then being heroes themselves, and like this whole overarching story of like the big bad and his history with one of the teachers and whatnot. But the main character that you're following, his story is interesting because he doesn't have a quirk. He doesn't have a superpower, at least at first. And then he gets his kind of late, like he's like a late bloomer. So you kind of see him dealing with that while everybody's like, oh yeah, I've had this power since I was 5. I know at least the general gist of it, type of thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fun characters in there. And I feel like the show gets very creative with what the superpowers are. It's not just like, there are your generic ones like I can fly or I have super strength, but there's some fun ones in there. Like one character, she's very frog-like. Like she just has superpower frog. So she has
She's
frog
Toad from
feature.
X-Men.
Yeah, kinda. So Froppy's great. There's a guy, he's a more goofy character, but he shoots laser beams out of his belly button. But if he does it too much, his tummy hurts. So he's got to be careful. One of my favorites, and I think he's my favorite character overall, is their teacher. His name is Aizawa, and his quirk is he can nullify other people's quirks, but he has to stare at them essentially, or like he can't blink at all. As soon as he breaks contact, they can get their powers back.
Hmm.
So what he does is he wears these special goggles where he can see through them, but it's not easy to see where he's looking. So he can keep switching where his viewpoint is and look around and stop people. And then he uses like his scarf as a weapon to actually hand-to-hand combat and shit. He's amazing. So yeah,
That
it's a
sounds
great
awesome.
show. I highly recommend it. It's a really good one if like you're not really into anime. Like I feel like a lot of the shoto type animes are very newbie friendly, like akin to like a Dragon Ball and a Dragon Ball Z. Like I know that's the big one for everybody that knows, but I feel like this is another one where it's like, yeah, I like elements of anime, but I don't like the whole, breadth of what anime kind of brings to the table. I think this is a
Sure.
good one. So yeah, I've enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I think you might have actually sold me on that. I've only watched 3 animes in my whole life,
Hmm.
so maybe maybe this will be one that I give a shot to.
Yeah,
Or
if
a
you have
shot to, a chance
Netflix,
to.
I believe the either just the first season or the first two seasons are on there. So it's you can give it like dip your toe into it there, and then the later seasons are like on their Crunchyroll service and stuff like
Crunchyroll
that.
stuff, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Absolutely. Well, great. I'm glad you're looking forward to that game. I hope you enjoy it then. That sounds really cool,
Thanks.
especially if you like the anime that much. Maybe you can play as the teacher. That would be cool.
Yeah, he's
Whipping the
been in the
scarf
other
around at
ones.
people.
Yep.
That's cool. The game that I'm excited for is a game that I may have already said on the another previous episode, but I'm still excited for it because it's not out yet. And that game, which I've been teasing, is drum roll, and I'm just kidding. It's Mario Tennis Fever.
Oh.
I know some people are gonna roll their eyes and say another Mario Tennis game, but nay, nay, I say this is a Mario Tennis game that has a story mode to it. It actually
Hmm.
has like a campaign to it, which is great because my one of my favorite games of all time is Mario Tennis. I forget what it's called. It might be shit. It's one of my favorite games, and I don't remember the name of it. It's the Mario Tennis game on the Advance, Game Boy Advance. It might just be called Mario Tennis Advance.
Hmm.
I'm gonna look it up right now so I don't have an aneurysm. Okay, it's called Mario Tennis Power Tour.
mm.
And that's one of my favorite games ever because it plays like Pokemon, where you go around, you talk to people, and you have to do battles. But instead of doing a Pokemon battle, you play tennis.
Hell yeah.
Uh, it's very fun. So the fact that they added another story mode into another tennis game makes me very excited because I love that story mode to death. I don't think it's going to be like an RPG like Mario Tennis Power Tour, but it is going to be a campaign of some kind. So it's going to have some more meat than the last Mario Tennis game, which frankly didn't have a lot of content.
Hmm.
So, just glad to see that they're adding more content into their sports games. I love Mario Tennis. Mario Tennis got me to go to a tennis camp when I was in high school because I love tennis so much. And fun fact, Mario Tennis introduced Waluigi. So that's where that all comes in.
Woo!
That's where he was first introduced, was in Mario Tennis. Great game. Love all the Mario Tennis games. Can't wait to play this one whenever I get a Switch 2. It'll be one of the first games that I buy, unironically.
Very
I
nice.
do love Mario Tennis, so that's what I'm
Awesome.
excited for.
Very cool.
Yeah. And that is going to be it for another episode of the Relatively Gaming Podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. As always, if you liked what you saw, please give a like, please give a subscribe. But also, more importantly, please leave a comment below because we will read those probably. And if you have a topic or something, we'll definitely incorporate it into the show. So, uh, thanks for watching. Have a great after night.
Bye,
Okay,
guys.
bye.